G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm going to have another go at the Daisy Bell or Daisy Belly effect. I did this one recently and I am in love with it. The only issue for me is these white petals around the very center, around the glitter. See how they're a little bit bigger and puffier? To me, I'm thinking that's because my white wasn't heavy enough, so that kind of floated and spread. So I'm going to add an extra couple of drops to my white today and see if I can make it a little bit heavier. So I'm using the Pro Marine tabletop resin, same as I used for that pinky purple one I just showed you, and I'm using my Bloom. So just give it a bit of a, you need to untwist it like that, give it a little bit of a squeeze until the paste comes to the tip. Oh, there we go. Depends on I probably didn't need to do that. Depends how full your bottle is, really. So give it a squeeze, wait till it comes to the tip and let it drop in. So I'm just going to count. What am I doing? What am I doing? It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, squeeze. Oh, that was probably 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to do 12 this time. But look, it depends. The number of white drops varies. Depending on which resin you're using. This is a really thick one. When you're stirring it, it's like stirring cold honey when you first start. As you combine the two parts, A and B, it does thin out a little bit. But when you start, gee, it's thick. It's like cold honey. So the different whites, if you're using, say, the Cast and Craft, it's not as heavy as the Bloom. You probably need almost double the amount of drops. But I'm getting really good effects with the Bloom, so I'll stick with it. I think if you're starting this technique, just pick a resin, pick a white, whatever you've got, and just keep experimenting with it. I think all resins will work, and I think all white pastes will work. It's just a matter of your resin has to be thick. So if you don't have a thick resin, you'll need to wait until it thickens up. And your white, as I said, some are heavier, some are lighter, some have more oil, some have less oil, so you get different effects depending on how much you are using. So just experiment, write everything down. So that's my white, got a little bit of glitter in here. It's sort of gold and copper and black glitter, and with a little bit of resin. I'll put a tiny bit more in. And that's my leftover. That's for my push. I'm going to put orange in it. So yeah, orange and black today, guys. Orange and black, not a color that I would normally do. So I've got the Holbein. Here's my 2 oranges. This one's Pyrrole orange and this one's Naphthol light red. I'm going to start with the orange, and then if I need to make it a bit sort of redder, I can do a bit of this. So I might do half. 1, 2, 3 of that one. And I think I'll do 3 of this one, or maybe 2. We'll just try 2 to begin with. And just see what happens, see what it looks like. So the orange is my higher color, higher volume of resin in there. My dark color is my least, so it goes least, middle, most. Still quite transparent. Don't really want it any more red. I think I'll put another one of these in. So what did we do? 4 and 2. Let me write that down. 4 and 2. 4 and 2. Naphthol. Okay. Look at the state I'm in. Can't take me anywhere. Gosh. I don't know, these bottles, they leak for me. All right, so there we go. And again, the number of drops will depend on the brand that you're using. Don't use alcohol inks, they're too light. They've got alcohol in them. Some colours like yellow and pink, I find I have to use more. Some colors are just not as concentrated, I guess. Now this is the black, and let's do 2 of that. Hopefully that'll be all right. Make sure you wipe the top, otherwise you get that crusty bit on top. And while I've got the orange out, I should do the orange here as well. I'm going to do two drops of that orange in there as well. Okay, so that's my colours. Might need a stirrer. So black and orange. Probably 2 drops of black was a bit much, but I want to see the, you know how we have the petals and then you have like the darker line between the petals, and it really exaggerates the petals. I'm hoping that the black will kind of do that, but yeah, not sure, we'll have to see. I am using my new large chunky edge mold. It's pretty similar, gosh, this is warming up, I better get a wriggle on. It's pretty similar to my chunky live edge, and this is the crystal live edge. The only difference is really that the crystal one has got bigger crystals. It's a bit deeper and it's not as round, it's a bit more sort of asymmetrical. So let's get started, shall we, before my resin gets too hot. I've got it up on a trivet, just so that it doesn't overheat, because it's a 1-to-1 resin. It's like a tabletop. Well, it's a tabletop coating resin. I'm going to try and get some on my edges here, so I've got some black on the edges. So yeah, it does heat up quickly, and to prevent it from flash curing, and because I'm pouring it pretty deep as well. I don't think you're supposed to pour it quite so deep because it's a coating resin. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit cooler by putting it up on a trivet, so that we get some airflow underneath, just to stop it from flash curing. All right, here we go with the orange in the middle. I hope I haven't made my orange too heavy, too dense. I've got 6 drops in there, that's quite a lot. We'll see. I can always do it again, it's just resin. Just resin. Okay, so now in goes the white. And I am trying to work fast because my resin is warming up. If you've got a 1-to-1 resin, a thick resin, it's probably the better choice to use with the Daisy. This was created by Micah from Resin Courses. I don't have the resin she uses. I don't have the inks she uses. I don't have the mold she uses. I don't have anything she uses. So it just takes a little bit of experimenting, you know, to get the right products, I think. So in goes my clear push. The only thing is I don't like the smell of the Pro-Marine. It's nasty. Nasty! As long as you've got all your doors and windows and things open, it should be okay. Now this trivet's probably not very level. It's a bit wonky, my trivet. I have to put it on something. There's the feet there. The mold's level, it's just my trivet that's not. So I can just see that it's not coming down this way as much as it's coming down that way. All right, so I'm not going to torch it. I'm not going to do anything to it for now anyway. I'm going to add my glitter into the middle there. You can see how thick that resin is. The glitter just wants to sit there. It's just being suspended in that resin. It's not sinking. Hopefully it will. I'm sure it will over time. And I will poke it as well. Poke the bear. So normally I just put like a heavy stones or something like that in the center, and it just sort of, it doesn't really move. But because the center of this doesn't necessarily always close in, I've been trying to sort of put a little bit of glitter in, just so that it kind of looks a little bit more natural. It can kind of spread a little bit, fill in that gap that we get in the middle. You know, I was always so disappointed with this particular design, the daisy, that it wasn't closing. But when you do the course, and you'll see Micah's, hers doesn't close as well. And myself and others were so fixated on having the center closed that we were just, you know, we weren't enjoying it. We were just kept trying and trying and trying to get the center to close. But this design is not meant to have the center close. If you want the center to close, do a fairy flower, something like that. This one, as Micah does hers doesn't close as well. So we need to just say, okay, this is how it is, and be happy with our beautiful flower the way it is, okay? So don't stress about it not closing. It's not supposed to. All right, let's put you on a quick time lapse. I will give it just a tiny little torch just because it's got really big bubbles. Really big bubbles. It's a very thick, bubbly resin. We'll put you on a time lapse and see you at the unmolding. Right, this cured really fast. After about half an hour, when I came back to check on my time lapse, I did this and it was rock hard after half an hour. The sides were a little bit, you know, soft still, so I just popped it in my food dehydrator for half an hour. And then, yeah, it's done. Not quite sure what's happening here. I hope it doesn't look like it on the other side, because it looks as if it's a big white blob there and my glitter's floated away. So, I like glitter, but it's the bane of my existence. It's a bit annoying when it floats. That's why I choose the ready-made discs or the glass, because it's heavier. But it might be all right. Oh, look, I've left a little piece behind. Might be all right. Get out of there. All right. Okay. So you can see this one's not as symmetrical as my other, you know, my other chunky one. I was trying to get it a little bit more asymmetrical, but it kind of did my head in because I wanted to automatically make it round, but I thought, no, Julie, we're doing asymmetrical. So yeah, I had to try really hard not to make it round. All right, here we go. Hope it's pretty. Ooh, look at that. It's got little dendrites. Is that what they're called? My glitter's in the middle, you guys. It's in the middle. So yay. This side has sort of closed in more than that side. You can see there it's wider than that is, so it's a little bit off center there. Really pretty petals though. Look at those petals. Wowzers. So this was the last one. The petals seem to be a bit more sort of fluffier and puffier, and I've got those big petals in the middle. This one is different. This one's got, like I said, this one's got more white paste in it, so it's heavier, so the petals drop down more. I might even try a little bit more volume of the white next time and see if I can just get more white. So maybe just an extra 5 grams or so of the white in like, instead of, you know, adding a little bit more of the clear resin to my cup before I add the white, and just see if I can actually get it to close over a little bit more. Not trying to close center or anything, but just have it more symmetrical, because that could have closed in a little bit more. But look at the dendrites. Can you actually see them? They are so cool. All right, so as far as color goes, I got the, it's really weird actually, weird colors. Oops, hang on, try and get out of that bright light. So the sides, the edges, where I put the black, and it's got a little bit of orange in it, it's got a little bit of white in it, we're getting this really cool edge. So the shape of your mold sort of dictates what your pattern's going to look like. So I've got that edge all the way around, which is, kind of looks brown, doesn't it? But I guess black and orange and white will make like a brown tone. So I'm happy with the color. There's the tips. And then, yeah, we've got more of the orange in the middle. And I like my glitter. I think that looks really pretty. It matches the colour. Just wish this had sort of moved a little bit more. But I'm on the right track, you guys. I'm on the right track. I'll do it again and I'll add a little bit more volume of white, just to see if that will help. But yeah, happy with it. What do you think? Do you like that one, or do you prefer the pinky purple one? This had less white paste in it, so it was fluffier. This had more white paste in it, so it's heavier and sunk. And we've got those telltale little baby petals that I was striving for. And it's, you know, it's sort of closed up over here. Perfect, that's what I wanted. Just didn't do it on that side. So I just think I need a bit more white. That's my scientific explanation anyway, I think. So, yeah, I'll try it again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. Bye for now.